General Hospital, spoilers keep whispering, almost teasing, that Lulu is building something real with Nathan West. And I mean real in that fragile way, the kind of love that feels warm but also dangerous, like you know it could fall apart any second if someone breathes too hard. I have been watching this storyline with a mix of curiosity and frustration, because nothing in Port Charles ever stays simple. Nothing ever just grows quietly and survives. Right now, Lulu seems happy, and that alone makes me nervous, because the spoilers are hinting that Lulu might already be pregnant. Not just newly pregnant, not a surprise from last week, but pregnant for weeks, maybe 2 months, maybe 3, and that changes everything. It shifts the ground under her feet before she even realizes she is standing on something unstable. The complicated part is this. Lulu loves Nathan, and Nathan loves Lulu. That much is clear. The snowstorm brought them closer. That storm felt symbolic almost, like the world froze so they could see each other clearly. But reality is never as poetic as a snowstorm. Reality is messy, especially when Nathan is the ex-husband of Maxie Jones and Lulu is Maxie's best friend. That fact alone should have been enough to stop them. It should have, but it did not. They told themselves that Maxie had chosen Damian Spinelli. They convinced themselves that Maxie had moved on, that it was safe, that they were not betraying anyone anymore. So they continued, quietly at first, then less quietly. Love does that. It grows louder even when you try to whisper it. But here is where the story turns uncomfortable. If Lulu is already 2 or 3 months pregnant, then the timeline does not match Nathan. Their relationship only truly ignited after the blizzard. Before that, there was tension, yes, longing looks, yes, but not enough time to explain a pregnancy that advanced. Biology does not lie. Calendar weeks do not bend to romantic convenience. At first, I can imagine Lulu thinking the baby is Nathan's. She would probably feel relieved, maybe even excited. A baby born from this unexpected love. It would feel like fate, like proof that they were meant to be together despite the awkward history with Maxie. But then comes the medical appointment, the ultrasound, the due date calculation, and suddenly the math does not add up. And that is when everything fractures. People will immediately suspect Dante Falconeri, because history matters. Dante and Lulu share too much history for anyone to ignore. They were married, they have a child, they built a life once. So naturally, the audience might look at Dante and think, maybe there was a moment of weakness, maybe nostalgia, maybe one night that meant nothing but turned into everything. But I do not buy it. Dante does not love Lulu right now. That sounds harsh, but it is true. His heart is still carrying the memory of Sam McCall. Sam is gone, but grief does not disappear just because someone else is standing in front of you offering comfort. Dante feels detached. He has chosen to remain single. Not because he is incapable of loving, but because he is not ready. And if he had slept with Lulu recently, it would have required emotional vulnerability that he simply does not have at this point. So I crossed Dante off the list. Which brings me to Cody. Cody Bell. Now here is where things get interesting. We have not seen a romantic build-up between Cody and Lulu on screen. There were no dramatic kisses, no confession scenes under the stars, nothing obvious. But that does not mean nothing happened. Port Charles has a habit of revealing secrets that unfolded off screen, like the writers are reminding us that characters have lives even when the camera is not watching. What if Lulu, before fully committing to Nathan, had a brief connection with Cody? Something impulsive. Something fueled by loneliness. Maybe she was confused about her feelings. Maybe she felt unanchored after everything she went through. And Cody, with his rough edges and unexpected tenderness, might have been there at exactly the wrong time. I can see it. Not as some epic romance, but as a mistake. Or maybe not even a mistake, just a moment. Two adults choosing comfort and then moving on. Or trying to... If that is the case, the pregnancy reveal would not just hurt Nathan. It would humiliate him. Because he stepped into this relationship believing he was building something honest. He already carries guilt about Maxie. He already walked through that emotional minefield. To then discover that Lulu was with someone else shortly before they became official, that would feel like betrayal, even if technically it was not. Nathan does not strike me as someone who could easily accept becoming a stepfather under these circumstances. Especially if Lulu cannot even confidently name the father. That uncertainty would eat at him. Every time he looks at the baby, he would see a question mark. And that is not fair to anyone. I actually think Nathan would walk away. Not dramatically, not angrily at first, but quietly. He would say he needs time. He would say he cannot do this. And Lulu would be left standing there, confused, hurt, maybe ashamed. And I would feel for her even if part of me thinks she should have been more careful. There is also the possibility that the father is someone we have not even considered yet. A secret man. Someone Lulu dated briefly, someone who was never fully introduced. The idea of a hidden lover adds another layer of chaos. It would make Lulu's past feel fuller, more complicated than what we have seen, and honestly, that would not shock me. Soap operas thrive on hidden chapters. But I keep circling back to Cody, because dramatically, it works. Cody being the father would create tension, not just with Nathan, but with Dante as well. Dante and Cody have their own complicated dynamic. If Cody unknowingly fathered Lulu's child, it would tie multiple storylines together in a way that feels explosive. Not random, not forced. And let me say this clearly, I do not think Lulu is some villain here. She is human. Humans make decisions when they are lonely. They fall in love at inconvenient times. They convince themselves that the past is neatly tied up when it is not. The saddest part of this potential storyline is Maxie. Maxie waking up, choosing Spinelli, believing she has moved forward, only to watch her best friend and her ex-husband fall apart because of a pregnancy scandal. That is cruel in a way that only Port Charles can deliver. If the pregnancy news becomes public, it will not stay quiet. It never does. Secrets in this town leak faster than water through cracked glass. And once everyone knows that Lulu is pregnant but unsure of the father, the judgment will begin. Even from people who have no right to judge. Nathan will feel embarrassed. Lulu will feel exposed. Cody, if he is the father, will feel blindsided. And Dante will be dragged into speculation whether he wants it or not. What fascinates me most is the emotional aftermath. Not just the paternity test, not just the reveal, but the damage in between. The waiting period, the tension, the awkward conversations, the silences. Imagine Lulu sitting alone, hand on her stomach, wondering how something so innocent could cause so much chaos. Imagine Nathan staring at a sonogram that might not represent his child. Imagine Cody slowly realizing that a careless moment could define his future. This is the kind of storyline that tests character integrity. If Nathan truly loves Lulu, does he stay regardless of biology, or does he decide that love is not enough? If Cody is the father, does he step up immediately, or does he panic? And if there is a secret man, someone entirely unexpected, how does Lulu even begin to explain that? I keep thinking about timing. Timing is everything. Lulu falling in love with Nathan just as a pregnancy from her past services feels almost tragic. Like the universe waited until she was happy to pull the rug out from under her. And maybe that is the point. Happiness in General Hospital is always temporary. It is almost a rule. When things look stable, expect the earthquake. I am not rooting for Nathan and Lulu to fail. I actually think they have chemistry. Their bond feels adult, less chaotic than some of Lulu's past relationships. But I also think unresolved history has consequences, and pregnancy is the ultimate consequence. It forces truth into the open, whether anyone is ready or not. If I had to predict, I would say this storyline will not be simple. There will be suspicion, denial, maybe even a fake assumption before the real father is revealed. It will stretch for weeks. Emotions will swing wildly. And by the end, at least one relationship will be permanently damaged. And honestly, that is what makes it compelling. Because love triangles are predictable. But uncertain paternity, layered over friendship, betrayal, and unresolved grief, that is different. That is heavier. Lulu may not even know she is pregnant yet. That detail alone adds another layer. She might still be laughing with Nathan, making plans, dreaming about the future, unaware that her body is already rewriting her story. When she finds out, I imagine shock first, then fear, then hope, and then dread once the dates are calculated. I do not think this will end cleanly. I do not think there will be a simple resolution where everyone hugs and moves forward. Someone will walk away. Someone will feel betrayed. And Lulu will have to face the consequences of choices she made when she was confused, maybe vulnerable, maybe searching for something. That is very human, messy, imperfect, painful. And in a strange way, that is why I am invested.